Oh, sorry. Do you want me to say the fire apparatus thing again? Cute. In my uniform? Oh, that's a lot of words. I'm fire apparatus engineer Yesenia Tufnell, and we're here at Station 12 in downtown Temecula, and you're watching Report on Conditions. Yeah!
On today's episode, we take you to the east side of the county, where your firefighters were recognized at the Cove Communities Awards ceremony. And we highlight the Shore Fire, which burned just over 3,000 acres north of Moreno Valley.
Engine 1 with report on conditions.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex Azaguirre, and thanks for joining us on today's episode of Report on Conditions. Let's swing by the Cove Communities out on the east end of the county.
The Cove Communities Services Commission represents a unique partnership between the cities of Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, and Indian Wells. Created to support well-coordinated, effective public safety services across the three communities. For the 2026 Cove Communities Awards Luncheon, CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Department is proud to recognize 3 members whose service reflects the professionalism, dedication, and community commitment at the heart of that partnership. From Rancho Mirage, Firefighter 2 paramedic Owen Boubion is honored for his exceptional patient care, medical knowledge, and positive impact at Station 69. During a cardiac arrest response, Owen and responding crews continued critical care through transport, helping stabilize a patient who was awake and talking when care was transferred at the hospital. From Palm Desert, fire apparatus engineer Jeremy Tucker is honored for 24 years of dedicated service, including more than 23 years assigned to Truck 33, where he has trained hundreds of firefighters and served as a trusted leader and mentor. From Indian Wells, fire apparatus engineer Rob Holgan is honored for his professionalism, mentorship, equipment readiness, and compassionate service to the community. Together, these honorees represent the best of public service and the continued commitment to protecting the Cove communities with pride, professionalism, and heart. Congratulations to the 2026 Cove Communities Award recipients.
From June 15th to June 28th, 2026, your firefighters responded to a total of 8,005 calls for service, of which 6,135 were medical emergencies and 246 were fire-related calls. Let's check out what some of these incidents look like. On Monday, June 15th, firefighters responded to multiple 911 calls reporting vegetation on fire near the intersection of Santa Mateo Canyon Road and Lakeshore Drive north of Moreno Valley. The first arriving engine reported 15 acres burning at a moderate rate of spread. Multiple additional engines, hand crews, bulldozers, and aircraft were requested to support fire suppression efforts. Evacuation orders and warnings were put into place for a large area, as well as a closure of Highway 60 for firefighter safety. Firefighters worked on the incident for 10 days, from hose lays to building containment lines by hand. In total, 3,085 acres burned, and the fire was fully contained on June 25th. On Sunday, June 21st, firefighters responded to multiple 911 calls reporting a house on fire in the 300 block of East Barber Street in the city of Banning. The first arriving engine reported a single-story residence that was fully involved in fire and requested 3 additional engines to assist. Firefighters were able to contain the fire after about 30 minutes and remained on scene for several hours working on heavy overhaul. 1 firefighter and 1 civilian suffered minor injuries, and both were transported to a local area hospital for further evaluation and treatment. The American Red Cross was requested to assist 7 people who were displaced due to the fire. On Monday, June 22nd at around 11 a.m., firefighters were dispatched to multiple 911 callers reporting a large vegetation fire near Cherry Valley Boulevard and Interstate 10 in the unincorporated county area near Calamasa. The first arriving chief officer reported 1 acre of grass burning at a moderate rate of spread and heavy fuels and requested additional air and ground resources. As the fire continued to grow, law enforcement was requested to shut down a lane of the interstate for firefighter safety. With an aggressive attack from the air and ground, firefighters were able to stop the forward rate of the fire at 89 acres. Fire personnel remained on scene until approximately 1 a.m. the following morning, working on mop-up and full containment. 1 firefighter suffered a minor injury and was transported to an area hospital for treatment. There were no evacuations or civilian injuries. On Thursday, June 25th, at about 6:30 p.m., firefighters were dispatched to a reported vegetation fire in the area of 39,300 Rolling Hills Road in Anza. The first on-scene unit reported vegetation burning at a moderate rate of spread and requested an additional response of engines and water tenders for an immediate structure threat. Firefighters made quick work of the fire, holding it to 30 acres. One outbuilding and one storage box were destroyed, but thankfully there were no injuries to civilians or firefighters. Fire personnel were on scene for approximately 6 hours for full containment. On Friday, June 26, at around 1:30 p.m., firefighters were dispatched to a reported vegetation fire burning near the 35,600 block of Trigg Road in the city of Wildemar. The first arriving engine reported approximately 2 acres burning in light flashy fuels at a moderate rate of spread and requested additional engines for a structure threat. A road closure was put in place for La Estrella between Salida del Sol and Wildemar Trail. A coordinated attack from both a water-dropping helicopter and engine crews on the ground were able to stop the forward rate of spread after about an hour, containing the fire to just under 8 acres. No injuries to civilians or firefighters were reported. The fire was fully contained at 5 p.m. and firefighters were on scene until about 8 p.m., completing mop-up operations. On Saturday, June 27th, 911 dispatchers received multiple emergency calls about a house on fire in the 50,400 block of Balboa Street in the city of Coachella. The first arriving engine reported a single-story, single-family dwelling with heavy fire showing from the garage. Firefighters were able to quickly contain the fire. However, the structure did sustain heavy damage. 4 adults were displaced by the fire and were assisted by the American Red Cross, and firefighters were on scene for about 2 hours performing overhaul. There were no injuries reported. That's all for this week's Report on Conditions. Follow your firefighters in action on our social media at CalFireRRU and stay up to date on incidents happening countywide. If you caught any great footage of our firefighters at work or out in the community, send them to us at rrupio@fire.ca.gov. On behalf of your Public Affairs and Community Education Bureau, I'm Alex Azaguirre. Thanks for watching.